boop. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the Sean Atwood channel. We are here with Awaken with Beverli Rhodes, who is once, as always, looking fabulous this evening. And it's all about me tonight. It's a big Ron fest this evening.
It is a big Ron fest indeed. Well done, Ron.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to get into that in just a minute. Just want to say a big shout out to everybody who's watching. Hope you're all doing really, really well. We did touch base with Big Homie, and everything should be back on track for this Friday. We may even have a little special half-hour pre-recorded interview with the wonderful Mr. John Wedger. I'm just waiting on him getting back to me. But he's going to be telling some of his stories as well, because he has got a plethora of traumatic and horror-inducing stories, shall we say? Stuff. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
I've got to ask, Ron, these modern slang terms, what does it mean when somebody says you are a goat?
It means you are the god of all time. So G-O-A-T, god of all time. So you're the best. You're the number one.
That's lovely. So thank you to the person that put that in the chat. I'm sorry that I had to go and find out what it was, because that is new.
That is, you know, the exact same thing was asked by John on Sunday. People kept posting goats in the side chat, and he's like, listen, I don't know why you keep calling me goats. I'm not that old or something like this, right? And I'm like, no, John, goat means the greatest of all time. Sorry, the greatest of all time.
There we go. It's Michael GL Bev the goat. I would imagine, Michael, I'm RVing you, Michael. I can hear you laughing from here.
I don't know why I said god of all time. I don't know if that was not the word I meant. It was greatest of all time.
Great or something. There we go.
Listen, we know it's greatest, okay, everyone? We know it's greatest. Okay, Ron messed up. Okay, Ron messed up. Greatest of all time. We know, we get it. Alpha Fangul.
That's so funny. Thank you. It could only be you, dude. Only be you.
Yeah. Trust me. I swear to God, I know what I'm talking about. So yes, anyway, greatest of all time. Greatest of all time.
Now tell us your story, just the way that you told me when you got hold of me, freaking out because of what happened. So, everybody's waiting, so tell us what happened from the start, please.
Yeah, I just want to say all of the people involved with the movement in the side chat, all the little starlings, AKAs, I just want to say a big shout out to all of you people. Big show for you on Friday, and I'll be touching base with you all before then as well in the server and getting cracking on. So listen, right? So Ron was doing some thinking. Must have been about a week and a half ago, right? And I'm pretty sure I remember having a rant to Danny about this, and a rant on one of the other shows that you were there, Bev. And it basically boiled down to me before I became a fairly religious person, I had no faith. And I mean, if you had religion, fair dues. I never understood blind faith. It's never made sense to me at all. Right. And hey, if blind faith is your thing, fair dues. Okay. Susan Malley, what is happening? But for me, I was always a bit like, nah, mate. Nah. And that goes for everything. That was for ghosts, it was for religion, it was for anything, space, science. It was really just, unless I could see it for myself, I wasn't really going to believe it, right? So then I started thinking about the off-worlders, and I'm like, nah, wait a minute, you little rascals with your whole we're here, we're coming our spaceships. And I'm like, nah, there's no blind faith. There's none of that. So for me, I was like, I'm wanting some evidence of trust. I'm wanting some evidence of something, right? Because I don't think I should have to take anything in blind faith. Right? So
you issued an ultimatum and a challenge. Good for you.
Right. So Ron goes off on his rant, does his thing, right? And then on Friday night after the podcast, I'm sitting here, we're on Discord, we've all had a few drinks, everything's going great, and I get a phone call from Dan up the stairs. I swear to God. I answer the phone, and she goes, babe, I think you need to come up the stairs. I think there's a UFO over the house. And I'm like,
good for Danny. Well done, Danny.
I'm like, okay, Dan. Okay, sure. So I go up the stairs, and there's Dan sat up in bed looking out the window like it's a movie, and the white light's about to come through the freaking window and suck her out into the clouds, right? And I get there, and there's this thing moving around, right? And it is moving around. And I kid you not, the minute we opened the window and got the camera out, this thing just stopped dead in the sky. And Jan said that she was lying in bed and she got this weird feeling that somebody was watching, right? Or looking or something. So she looked out and she seen this thing flying about. She said it was almost as if they didn't want her to miss it, right? It was almost as if there was this thing going on. So she shouted on me, she's got me up, and then I've opened the window and started recording, right? So we're going to take a little look at what Ron recorded, okay? Now, obviously, because this isn't a Hollywood movie, it's always a bit underwhelming, all right? But I'm telling you, this is a madness. So the first video is about a minute long, and this is directly, you can see me, look at that!
Your window. It's from your window, isn't it?
From my bedroom window, yeah.
Yeah, this is when it was still doing its scooting around the sky.
So I've done a little bit of zooming in here. So a lot of the movement is tiny hand movements, right? So if you see what I mean. So a lot of the movement that it's doing is me moving, right? It is pretty still. But the next thing was like, if a cloud was to go past, are you going to be behind or in or above the cloud? Like, what's going to happen? Because the first thing I'm thinking is, right, we need to rule out drones, right? This is Edinburgh, Susan. This is your city, my G. Gilmerton. So this was crazy. And the fact that it was so stationary and there was no sound. There was no sound whatsoever. And I'll play this first bit of footage again for you. I'll give it a little pause just in case anyone. Do you know what it's like when someone gets a really like a really early ultrasound and they're trying to tell you where the baby is? It's like, do you see the little white dot? That's the baby. And this was crazy. And then after 2-3 minutes, the biggest clouds you've ever seen, right? I mean, the big chunky ones that cover all of the sky rolled in and this thing just vanished. But it was really weird. Now, we did get another bit of footage, which is here. Oh, no, wait, hang on. Got to do this one. There we go.
Were you saying anything at the time, Ron? Into the sky?
Oh,
were you actually pushing your energy up into the sky? Were you saying anything, or were you just thinking, what the hell is that in the sky?
I was dealing with a slightly overly freaking out Dan and an unconscious Nova, and I'm trying to hang out the window and not knock anything over and wake up Nova. But I was just amazed. Right, next time I'll be more prepared. I'll have a message to sort of upload. Do you know what I'm saying? But it was just wild, and we're talking 48 hours max since the last time I was like, show yourselves to me. You know what I'm saying? Smite me, oh mighty smiter. You know what I'm saying? And
so you threw down the gauntlet by the sounds of it.
Yeah. And you see, these are some of the photos. And again, I'm aware that they're fairly underwhelming photographs. This is really just a dot in the sky. This is probably the best one.
Can you try and maybe zoom in for our viewers a bit?
I can try. I mean, it'll turn 1 pixel into 8 pixels. But there it is, little white dot right there.
There it is. Yeah.
It was Ron. I'm jealous. I didn't even really ask. I was just being a sarcastic, like, man on the internet, and they were like, "Okay, Sonny Jim." Okay.
Remember, they don't do sarcasm. They don't do sarcasm at all. They don't do being funny either. They don't have a sense of
if they're planning on coming to this planet, they better get used to it, mate. Otherwise, they're going to not enjoy the telly for a start. I'm sure the alien TV is vastly different from ours. I can't imagine there's any Curb Your Enthusiasm going on up in planet freaking Dracario 4325. But all I'm saying is this was this is up there with that moment in the woods with the one-eyed man, right? I mean, it was a proper moment.
So tell us about when you took this still here, what were you seeing? Because it looks like around the edges had some sort of a color. Was there some color around the edges?
It looked like I don't want to say saucer-like, but it definitely looked like a pulled out sort of tic-tacky shape. Maybe there was a slight coloration going around it, if you know what I'm saying, and then a bright central point. And other than that, it was pretty tiny. But I mean, we knew. We knew. I mean, we knew. UFO disclosure, Bulgaria. What are we talking about? We're talking about me on the internet last week, talking about how I felt like off-worlders needed to sort of give me a reason to trust them, and I wasn't really into blind faith. And a couple of days afterwards, this appeared above my house in a way that could only be explained as they directly wanted to make sure this was seen, zipping around in the sky. And then as soon as we opened that window to film it, it stopped dead. Yeah. Susan, sorry, I'm saying yeah as if everyone's heard me read Susan's answer as if we're having a conversation. But it was nuts, and it was so quiet. Because drones are loud, right? Even the big police drones that go up, if on a quiet night you can hear the noise that they make going. Hang on a second, going about. Hang on a second.
And of course, we've got Danny, who realized that she was being watched, and then looked out the window and thought, oh yeah, maybe we are being watched, which is absolutely brilliant. Well done, Danny.
It's interesting because she says it wasn't like a feeling of being watched that had a creepy feeling. It was like, oh, I just felt like someone's popped their head in to check on us. You know, like if your parents pop their head in to check on you when you were a kid or whatever. And because that's very interesting as well. Because if you're sending a signal down to get someone's attention, right, or you're putting a feeling into someone, and you've written the code so well that you've eliminated, because obviously freaking someone out's the easy way, you know what I'm saying? But making somebody feel like not threatened at that there's a unidentified flying object above the house. It was amazing. It really, really was. And we reckon it was probably 12:30. I think that's when we boiled down the time to, was about 12:30 in the evening.
Which is about the right time. Yeah, that's when the atmospherics have lessened, which is good. And makes it a lot easier for them to show themselves or dematerialize, because the energy is not pushing them where you can't see them, which is good. I see one of our viewers, Chris, has said, I filmed 2 of them a few weeks ago, went by 1 minute apart. Looked like cigars or fuselages without wings or a tail.
Yeah, I would accept cigar shaped as my kind of stretched out tic tac analogy. I would, going by what I can remember, I would take cigar shaped object as well as a good point from our memory. A good one from our memory. How are your eyes? My eyes are pretty damn good, right? At the moment, tiny eye, which is, oh, nobody can see what you're doing, mate. Tiny eye, which is this eye, which is the one that I got Bell's palsy. I got paralyzed all this down this side of my face. It sometimes goes a bit mad, right? But the eyeball itself is all good. You know what I'm saying? So my eyesight's really, really good. And the only reason I was explaining that is if you watch The Daily Show and you've ever seen me try to read something off the screen, and I sound like a 7-year-old trying to read. Okay, I don't want you thinking that's an eye problem. That's just generally a reading problem. You must have heard of CE5 with Dr. Do you know, I know nothing about any of these people. I'm technically not part of that any of this community. I met Beverli before Christmas, last year, sorry, and I've been on this journey, and I never knew communities like this existed. I never knew Danny Henderson and Elena Denan and Azria and freaking all the other 45 people that I've been introduced to. Had never heard of any of it. Okay, I was just a little pagan witch man on his own little journey until the whole world just went, and the Beverli Rose effect, Beverli Rhodes effect, like took grasp of my mind, and I've been on this journey. So I don't know anything about any of these people, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just, you know, when you talk about people and people say, "Oh yeah, I'm unlocking all this knowledge and all this kind of stuff," like I genuinely think a lot of these people. Sure you are. Great. I'm totally with you, right? But I am telling you, I am not as smart as some of the things I'm coming up with. I'm just not. So there's things that are unlocking in my brain for whatever reason. And something's happening. Something's coming. I don't know what it is, but I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I've got a good feeling my mission, sadly, might be like rugby tackling somebody off the edge of a volcano into the volcano, right? And then we're both no longer here. But I'm sure it'll be I'm sure it's going to be like the top. It's going to be like the super diddy. Do you know what I'm saying? The super diddler. And then I just take him out. I'm pretty sure that's the way it's going to go. But I'm okay with it. Hence the full knot. Do you know what I'm saying? But there's something coming, man. Something is brewing. There's something cooking. And yeah,
you got lucky to see that in Edinburgh, in Scotland, in the UK, which is quite it's quite a heavily populated area, Edinburgh. There's loads of folks. So we wonder how many other people might have seen something similar in the sky, particularly around in that area.
Yeah, that's a good point. I imagine a few people. I just want to say as well, that's right. That is Ivan. Big shout out to Ivan from UFO Disclosure Bulgaria. That is the gentleman who definitely does not have in his possession, okay, just in case any governments are watching, definitely does not have in his possession that black rock that was definitely not taken or stolen from a UFC crash site. Okay?
No, he doesn't.
He definitely doesn't. Okay, Bev? Say again. He doesn't.
No.
Okay, we're being serious. He doesn't. All right, we're good, right? We're good. He definitely doesn't.
And it's good because there's been lots and lots of UFOs all over the place and all different types. I think there was different shapes, different sizes, and plasmoids, and the usual types of drones that we've been seeing all over the place too. But I think there's been a lot of UFO types of sightings. The best one I think that I've seen was the one that came out of the water in the sea and turned into a very, very large bright craft, and then disappeared up into the sky, out past our stratosphere into off-world very, very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the sighting that we had about 15 years ago in, believe it or not, coming home extremely late at night from a show in Blackpool that we'd gone to see. And we were driving along the seafront towards the hotel that we were staying at. And we caught sight of a sort of a long, almost like a tic-tac shape vehicle of some sort, very, very bright, shining, oscillating, but also had this fluorescence about it, an orangey color. And it looked like somebody had taken a test tube and turned it upside down.
Okay.
And we looked over the sea, and I said, but that's over the sea. It's not over the land. And that was towards an area which is called Fleetwood. But it wasn't over the land, it was over the sea. And it had come out of the water, was standing up dead straight, just like that, oscillating with this bright light. And then we sort of stopped the car and we looked and we thought, no, that can't possibly be what we think it is. Very few people on the road, hardly anyone around. And then in a straight line, it just shot up. And within seconds, it was gone. And it left this like orangey, greeny fluorescence behind it. And then it was gone. And that's one of the best sightings that I've ever seen. And we both looked at each other and thought, did we just see what we saw? Did we really? Did we? And we went back to our hotel and we started talking about it. But that is really stuck with me because that was before Tic Tacs even became known in the public domain. But it was actually turned out songs like that. Very strange.
Before Tic Tacs were even a thing. You see, I'm hoping, right, that I need to clear some stuff out the garden, right? But summer is coming, right? And I think there's some places in Edinburgh where I've had some pretty incredible experiences with things in the skies. It might be worth going back there. Very little light pollution, very, very nice, very outdoorsy, and we'll see what we can capture some night.
I think you'll be able to capture quite a lot. I'll bring some of my equipment that I have. We've also got a high-powered telescope that we use when we go asking for contact, etc., because we do follow the CE5 protocols. So there is an app called CE5, Close Encounters, number 5, and there is an app on all phones, and it will provide you with the protocols. It will also tell you on the app where your closest CE5 group is meeting, when they're meeting. So you just put in your country of origin, because it's across the world, and it'll tell you where your nearest is. Obviously, I'm down in Kent, so there are about 2 or 3 different meets that are happening, but mainly in the warmer months. And I'm sure that Edinburgh do have meetings as well. It might be interesting to see who's going out and when they're going out.
No. No, but I tell you what, my attic has got, you know, the Beverli, you know what I mean, like the old British style skylights, right? That are made. They feel like they're about 17, about 50 pound in weight, and you've got to push them up with that metal stick. And if they fall down in your hand, you're losing all your fingers, right? My house has got a couple of them, and I mean, when I stand on them and I open it right out, my whole body from like my chest out is out the window. So that'll probably be my oh my God, the neighbor next door is hanging out of his roof looking for UFO spot.
Yeah. Just don't go falling. Mind you, you weren't on the ladder and Tommy fell off his ladder. Just please don't go falling out your window.
You know, Bev, I'll get Dan to send me the footage and I'll play it to all of you of when I got locked out of my house and had to go and borrow the neighbor's ladder to go up to the first floor and get through. You know how like upstairs hallways in Britain have got these stupid like half-size windows, right? So it's me trying to climb through one of them. But right as you go in through the window, you're at the top of the staircase. So if you screw this up, you're going down the staircase, and I got wedged in the window, and then my leg got caught. It was a whole lot. And whilst I'm thinking I'm going to die, all you can hear is Dan wetting herself. I mean, she is absolutely howling. So yeah, nothing says I love you, honey, like the laughter of your loved one as you potentially end yourself.
Oh, bless her.
So how the frig did your nan see that? Listen, she's not my nan, okay?
It's your Dan.
It's my Dan, not my nan, okay? It's my beautiful woman, okay, not the man. She is a madan. So she said, well, listen, here's the thing. So she said that she felt like something was watching, or like she just, and this is weird because Dan's not the sort of person to just sit up in bed and look out the window, right? I'll be honest with you. So the fact that she sat up and looked out the window is odd, right? So make of that. Oh, there she is. There she is. See, there's Dan.
Oh, there's Dan.
Not my nan. It was Dan. Dan, can you tell people in the side chat what it was that made you want to look out the window in the first place when you seen the UFO going about? Like, what drew you to look out the window? If you don't mind, my darling. So whilst Dan be typing, we'll continue. But it was wild.
Put on the footage so Dan can explain. Yeah. Let's have a look. So did you get any additional footage when you were filming?
Nah, there was 2 bits of footage. There's a minute-long one, which is here, and then there's this 42-second one, because then the cloud came in, right? I would have still filmed it. I would have still filmed it completely, but it was weird as well, because the one thing we did say was, if a cloud comes in, we'll see if it's below the cloud, above the cloud, in the cloud, or whatever. And this was like, it was up there. I mean, it was up there. And it was almost like it was giving us the, okay, so you want to know if we're in space or we're in your atmosphere or we're a drone? There we go. I felt like it was doing the best it could to get our attention and then almost answer whatever questions we'd asked, because I guess with looking back, that was about the only thing we said out loud was, oh, I wonder if a cloud comes in, we'll be able to tell if this is a drone or not or whatever. And I guess we got an answer. So since you asked me that, and now I've realized what we did, there we go.
Right.
I was in bed, dozing off. My eyes were closed and I started to go into a deep sleep. I felt something was watching me, so I opened my eyes and I went straight to the sky as if I knew where to look. Wow, you have written that so well. I just want to say, like, I'm gripped now. I want to hear the next part, and I was there. You know what I mean? That's wild.
That's amazing, Danny. So whereabouts was it when you looked at the sky? Was it exactly where you filmed it? Do you have a still photograph of that you can enlarge and show us?
So this is about the best image that has been pulled out this image. I've not gone through each frame of the video, but literally if you were to sit up and look out the window, it was bang in the center of the window. It wasn't like it was like where it needed to be, so that if you were sat in that room or near the window, you wouldn't be able to miss it. Someone filming you, spies. Patty, as a YouTuber, right? As a YouTuber, every single drone that I see going past my house, I assume is someone trying to come and film me. I'm not going to lie. There's the wonderful Danny Henderson. How are you? Have you made it home from that flipping retreat yet? Have you managed to go back to living a life of a bed with no roof, a mahogany roof bed?
She's poorly. She ended up with the same flu that I had. The poor girl. She was being so sick.
Oh, that's because that's because of all that mad soup you've been eating. You can't just live on mad soup and mahogany beds, Danny. Okay, you can't do it. All right, but look,
don't worry, Danny. I'll just zap him in the bottom.
Well, look, Danny and I are meeting up on Thursday. We're filming my second part of my interview. Danny's been super patient and waiting on me doing this, and I can't wait. I'm excited. So yeah, I'm super excited.
Get better, Danny. Shame.
Get better, Danny. Get better. Yeah. Danny, have you not got a Q&A? When is that? I think that's Thursday. With Dude in the Mask and Dude that couldn't make it to our live. PJ, and I can't remember the other guy, but it looks exciting. I'm really excited about that. And I never get excited about anybody's lives, so I'm excited about that one. I've captured something flying around which lit up different colors. Would that be the drone? So drones, listen, every kind of, there's so many different types of drone, okay? And light, look, a JP, not PJ. Thank you. So you can kind of see when a drone's in the air, you can kind of tell. Drones, if they're super duper far away, right, they will need to be a big ass drone. If they're really, really far away and look like they're so far away, they might be in space. Does that make sense? Like a drone is pretty easy to go, oh, that's low flying and it's a drone, right? Whereas this, it wasn't that at all. At all. It's wild. It's wild. And I'll be honest, the video footage has a couple of moments in it that I'm going to pull stills out of where we kind of get single frames where you can almost see a shape with where the light's kind of bending around the shape of the object and things like that. I just need to go through it, but it was crazy, and it was almost like the sky was just clear for those moments, and then the clouds came in, and that was it. And like I say, for Dan to not be freaked out to the point of losing her mind is super surprising. And the fact that afterwards she was just like, okay, good night, babe. And off she went back to bed.
Oh, how lovely.
Do you see what I mean? So I definitely think there was some sort of, like, I don't know, cosmic ibuprofen sent through the cosmos by the spaceship to make sure that the situation was manageable, if that makes sense. Because, yeah. See, it's interesting, right? Because the off-world subject is so fascinating for me, because I often
when you looked at it, because when I'm looking at the footage there does seem to be, I don't know if anybody in the chat can see it, but there does seem to be a different color around the outside. So
yeah. So
you could see with your own eyes, what did you see when you actually saw this item? Was it moving in a zigzag or a triangular shape? Was it shooting up and down?
It looked like it was going side to side like this. When I came in, you'll need to ask Dan if there's anything else going on there. And it also looked like red and green and blue, inconsistent flecks. I don't want to say like a white ball with something spinning around the middle of it, right? But it kind of could have been that. Green flashes, yeah, green flashes. There was little blue ones, little red ones as well, and it was crazy.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Well, that's what we commonly get when we do our CE5 events, and we go out and sit where there's pretty much zero light pollution. And what we also do next time, I think you need to get one of these really strong lasers. The lasers, or alternative. I've got a torch that's a military grade torch. That's the highest the highest power of light that you can get. And when I see something, I just point it up, and then I do various click-ons and offs in a particular fashion, and then I wait for them. I just wait for them to reply. We always get a reply, and then we end up getting more of them coming, which is quite nice. So they definitely are trying to communicate, and there are those as well that are perhaps a little more advanced that are putting lights on the ground and switching the lights on and off in a particular sequence. And then you'll get an answer back from them in a particular sequence as well, which we're hoping to do probably this summer as an experiment to see what sort of activity we get.
Yeah, I meant to say I'm playing this back now at I think half playback speed, and I'm starting to see little shapes and things like this. It's almost like I'm now seeing something that's a bit more triangular. They visited to say happy birthday to me. That's right. It was your birthday. That's right.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah, it was. And it's just wild. Fairies and giants and UFOs. James, are you ready for it? Because I just wanted to make camping videos, Beverly. All right, that's the only reason we all know each other is because Ron wanted to make camping videos. And then here we are. Yeah, and I'll tell you something else. The cards. I mean, if you'd said to me a year ago, oh, you'd be sitting on the internet pulling oracle cards, I would have been like, okay. But it's proper weird, the results. I mean, I've been doing it with Dan, I've been doing it with some other people, and it's you know when it's what I imagine people feel like after they've done a Ouija board and they feel okay. That's a bit real. Like where's this come, like, do you know what I mean? But not from a, oh my god, I've just opened a gateway to hell and I've just ruined everyone in the room's lives. Like just from a, oh, do you know what I mean? Because when like I don't know where it comes from, and it doesn't matter. I don't need to know. It's exciting.
The chat is saying that you paused it just before they could see the big the change in the energy of whatever it was that you were filming. So maybe replay that section. Are you able to zoom in a bit?
I don't think so on the video. Let me see. No. What I can do though is I'll break it down. I'll put it into my software. I'll do all the contrasting and all that kind of stuff, and then I'll present a little presentation. Nothing quite like squeezing 2 shows out of 1 bit of content there. You know what I'm saying? But I'll play through this because, like I say, now it's playing slower. I will let it fully play through, everybody, as well. I do apologize.
And I know that Ivan has just come back from chatting with the owner of one of the ranches in America that we were talking about before. So It's quite interesting to hear what they've been saying.
Yeah, we need to get Ivan back. We do love Ivan.
We do love Ivan.
Yeah. See, it's just wild. Because here's the thing as well. See if this was me underneath something, looking straight up at it, right? It would look like you were looking underneath like 3 or 4 lights shining down, but it's not. It was like almost, if I'm looking out my window and I was to point, oh no, wait, don't do that. If I was to put up to about, I don't know, 10 o'clock out the window, right, at that sort of an angle, that was the sort of angle it was at. Do you know what I mean? And you know, because drones don't fly sideways.
No,
they fly like this. Okay, that's the thing.
Yep.
So if it was right above me and I was filming straight up, I would be like, okay, well, it's, you know, 4 lights that are pointing down. Could be a drone, right? But this it was not. It was not that. So it's just a bit mad. We are 5 seconds from the end of the footage, everybody. I'm going to put the other one on at half speed now because I'm interested to see
what comes up.
Yeah. I swear to God, I don't want to sound like a crazy person, but it looked like it changed into a bird a couple of times in the last footage. Obviously, it's just a trick of the camera with the way that the pixels are being formed and stuff. But it did look suspiciously like a bird.
Most people in the chat have got they're saying that everyone seems to have the feeling that they are aware that the energies have changed and that something is about to happen. And I would certainly agree with that. There's definitely a build up. It's as if, you know, the fanfare is coming to town and there's a carnival and we're all getting ready for the carnival. There's definitely something. There's something in the air.
Or, right, just because it's super fun to think about a superior race coming to Earth and taking us all to a fun carnival, right? But I mean, that's basically what the farmer says to the pig before it gets taken to the slaughter, right?
Unlikely that would happen to us.
I'm just saying though, right? Overlook, like aliens, okay? Appearing in the sky is great. That shows me you're listening. Let's build a relationship now, okay? Let's do lunch, okay? Let's discuss.
Be careful what you say. Be careful what you say.
No, listen. Also, though, I'm not wanting to go anywhere that's like none of this light years away nonsense, right? Because I don't want to spend 10 minutes on your ship and then get back to Earth and 7 years have gone by. None of that nonsense, okay? But I'm down, man. Like, I'm down. Don't like have me go into the toilet and turn around and then you just appear. Like, don't be like an idiot about it. Like, you know, just hello, like a gentle hello, and then I turn around and then we're good, right? They might eat you, Ron. No one's eating Ron. No one's eating Ron. No one. I'm a biter. Anyway, I'll take a bit of them off. They might eat me in the end, sure. Okay, but someone's losing an eye. All right, someone's losing an eye. Okay. But I'm ready. And I think if we're getting into this era of Awakening, you want to talk real serious, right? I am totally ready to take that next step, communicate, and see what's on what. Because I'll be honest with you, I feel like somebody out there knows that, because there's too much stuff in here that somebody like me has no concept of. That needs, there's something going on. Just plug me, whatever I need to be plugged into, just get me plugged into it. Dan's like, oh no. No.
Oh, bless her.
I'm just saying, like, I'm ready, you know. So I mean, I'm probably not, but when are you ever going to be ready? It's like becoming a parent. Do you know what I'm saying? It just happens and you jump in and you're ready when you're ready.
Oh, look, we have a Corinza. She lives in Blackpool and she'll be keeping her eyes peeled. Yeah, look over the sea from North Beach, that side, the north side, not south side, north side, out towards Fleetwood, because there's something there where they move upwards from there. That seems to be the most common area. And seeing as you're from the area, but very, very early hours of the morning, That's when we were driving back from Funny Girls. We went to see a show.
Sorry, I'm just
You're looking for the other ones.
Narcissistically looking at. No, I'm looking at my own footage. Like, come on, make a shape. Come on.
Yeah, I see Breezy saying, yeah, Blackpool of all places. Yeah, well, I think probably Blackpool, because at that time of the morning, most people have gone to bed already.
Plus,
The fact
Blackpool's one of those places where you've got millions of eyes every year staring off into a horizon over the sea, night and day. So the amount of stuff that gets seen off a coast and places like that, because you might, just because you're looking off to the coast doesn't mean that the things flying around in space have any concept of them being over a coast. It's just less light pollution, a common place for people to look out to. People tend to see it's a collective thing, I'm going to put this first bit of footage back on again as well. But we're going to, I'm going to.
After you'd seen this and you'd taken all of your footage.
Yeah.
What was the point of when it was no longer in the sky?
That was
what happened after that.
The big cloud came in, and it was one of those clouds where you could see the front end of the cloud coming, but the back end of the cloud was just, you couldn't see. It was just miles and miles of sky. So that was really it. You couldn't see anything through the cloud. There was no effort to. I felt like it was like a great, when you bump into someone in a shop, you spend 30 seconds catching back up again, and then you're out. You know what I mean? And everything that needed to happen happens. And it was a great little experience. Oh, yeah. I'll do that right now, Danny. I can't click that link, but I think I've already got the link saved. So I felt like they'd done what they needed to do.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a little calling card. I feel like, how I've always said, I feel like whether it's the shadow people, whether it's whatever, I feel like we're given enough to handle at the time that we can handle it. I think that there's a big difference between me saying, let's gain some trust, make yourself be known, and, an entire galactic fleet of individuals appearing in my living room and going, what's up? You know what I'm saying? There's limitations to what the human mind can comprehend and deal with, especially when we step out of our realms of known science. Like, I don't think anyone truly knows how the human mind will react when we see something that completely bends our perception of known reality. I mean, we're talking about a race of people that faint. Some people faint at their own shadow. Some people jump out of their skin at this, that, and the next thing. And when there's 8 billion of us, trying to find a collective calling card that will cover all of that can't be an easy one, even for an advanced interdimensional, off-world, super galactic, whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? We're not an easy race. I mean, it sounds like simple things like emotions and, individuality to some extent has been eradicated from some parts of the universe. And that's not what I'm about, I think a lot of races are jealous of our individuality. You know what I'm saying? Also, I just Googled Danny Henderson and then just completely forgot what I was doing.
You went to go and pick up one of the footage from the GSIC.
Oh yeah. So we've looked at Ron's footage. Now Danny's footage is one of the maddest things I've ever seen in my life. And it's honest to God, like if I hadn't met Danny and I didn't know Danny and I didn't this is the real deal as witnessed by 1,000 people. Okay. So if Danny was just a crazy lady off the internet, right, who just appeared one day with this bit of footage with no witnesses and no backstory, I would be like, But this is freaking Danny Henderson, right? And this footage it's one of the maddest pieces of media I've ever seen, right? And this was UFO Proof Galactic Spiritual Informers Conference. This was last year. Elena Delan told the time and date and place. And basically, this is Danny Henderson's world, where her and 1,000 of her pals just met up in the park one year and called upon some freaking alien spaceships. Okay. I mean, it was a lot more than that. It's a massive convention. It's a very big deal. But when it boils down to, is basically that narrative. Now, look at this. Look at it. I'm going to put the witness. Here's the witness, right? You can hear that crowd, yeah? Freaking alien spaceships, yo. Like, friggin' spaceships. Oh, spaceships and a rogue beastie up here. Okay, I don't know what this little guy's doing up here. I hadn't spotted him before. He's just hanging out on the lanes up here. Now, if you look closely, at one point, the laser bounces back. That's Danny. See, we're pointing the laser. We see. Do you know where the laser's being pointed, Danny? At the spaceships in the sky that we can all see. Okay. Danny's so nonchalant about it. Hey guys, listen, you know, if you can't see the massive fleet of spaceships in the sky, we're pointing a laser. We can see it, Danny. We're all amazed. Okay. Freaking, I lose my mind every time I watch this, right? And the fact that I just realized that Danny's narrating in the back is just too good. But it's mad. Just another day at the office for Danny Henderson. Another day at the office, mate. What'd you do today? Stood in the field. Got a spaceship, space fleet to come by. No big deal. No big deal. Mad. I got so excited there over this whole thing. I'm a little bit out of breath. I give myself work, cheeky bugger. It's true, mate. It's freaking wild, Danny. It's freaking wild, mate. 1,000 witnesses. Like
the worst thing is it's not even been reported. Been reported absolutely nowhere.
Of course not. Can't be putting this on the news. Can't be putting on. Listen, we've got celebrities that we need to talk about. Okay, we've got, you know, like tax increases and you know, religious things to talk about. We can't. There's not enough news. I'm pretty sure the papers are full, Beverly. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely no cover-up going on here, Beverly. Okay, nothing suspicious that this hasn't been reported on at all. Mad. I mean, look at that. Oh, I just freaking, I just call up my wee pals in their spaceships to come flying across my field, Ken. Brilliant. Oh, man. A little bit of me thinks this might be the year, right, where something crazy is going to happen this year. I don't know if it's going to be at Danny's and Elena's event. I am the worst for this. Like, I get no one's names right. I can't remember any of the proper names and abbreviations for anything. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I got PJ's name wrong. I'm pretty sure I've still got his name wrong.
JP.
Right. Honestly, I don't do this. I am actually trying, right? So please, nobody be offended. I'm honestly, please. But this is the craziest thing. In fact, can we not send this to Joe Rogan? Can we not try and get this on Joe Rogan? Like, can we all go and spam? In fact, let me just get this. Can we go and spam the living crap? Oh shit! Hang on, I forgot to do something for my mate Brad. Hang on a second. Give everyone.
Well, I think Danny needs to tell us whether she's already sent it to Joe Rogan. Because you never know what's in the pipeline. There could be all sorts of discussions and negotiations in the background that you're not aware of.
She can be chatting in the background. We can be spamming in the foreground. Do you know what I'm saying? Because this is wild. This is the sort of thing that will blow his mind. It really, really will. Like, I'm telling you now. I mean, it might not be a full segment. It might be one of those. Did you see that footage of that girl in the field in the UK with the spaceships? It'll be something like that, right? And yeah, but freaking right, mate. Just bear with me. A friend of mine is in dire straits, and I just need to assist him. Just bear with me. You can give me some chat just now, Bev, while I'm freaking in the background here panicking.
While you feverishly typing, Mary.
Yeah, well, I'm feverishly. No, I'm a buddy of mine's needing help with something. I'm just I need to send something over to him here.
I think everybody, rather than looking down at the pavement when they're walking, now that we can see what's in the skies above us, it would be a good idea that, as I do pretty much every night, I check the skies. I check both the front and the back. I look all the way around to make sure that there's nothing out there that I can take pictures of or talk to. And then I go to bed. it would be good that we, rather than looking down constantly, let's start looking up, because there's a lot of information in the skies.
See if we were all, for some reason, put underground, right?
The
only thing that was left was one skylight. That would be the most popular thing to do in the underground, is look out of the skylight at night.
Yeah.
So okay, so I've done what I need to do. I'm going to send out this link for Danny's video. If anybody's had like 6 or 7 beers and wants like a pointless mission to go on, just start spamming. That'd be great, please. Because that's a banger, right? I'm just saying. In fact, can we spam Elon Musk with that as well? But yeah, let's play.
I think he'll be a bit cross with me at the moment because I RV'd him today.
Oh yeah, you said you had a bit of a moment.
Yeah, I did a bit of an RV, and yeah, I managed to trace his essence and energy, and found that that he was actually inside the General Services Administration federal building in the US. But then also I saw a bedroom in that building, as well as a lot of discussions around all sorts of things like cost cutting, and then I moved further forward on it and saw other stuff. So I got a bit excited because it was one of those RV sessions where I managed to pinpoint a location and then see co-locating, in other words, going and having a look at the energy signatures around that area.
Yeah.
And it was quite interesting. So he might be a bit annoyed with us. Who knows?
Well, you know, hopefully he's not too mad. Hopefully he's not too mad. You can never be too upset once you've had to spend an evening inside a bedroom, inside a general. Do you know what I'm saying? It usually leads to a good time. So hopefully wish you all the best with that, Elon. And hope you don't mind the intrusive RVing. But I think we need to do collectively. I think more of us. Oh, there you go. Did you see that was the second where it came back and it bounced off. Sorry, everybody. You'll see the laser go up and it'll bounce back off this little ship. Wait for it. Wait for it. Come on. Come on. Chase it. There we go. Mad. Also, I realized today for the first time, Beverly, that I'm so deep in the ADHD that not only do I interrupt everyone, but I've just realized that when I'm alone on a panel, I'll just interrupt myself. Like I'll be halfway through saying something and my brain will just cut me off and interrupt me with a new topic. So I now feel everyone's pain because I've self-realized.
Because you've done it to yourself.
I keep doing it to myself now, and I'm like,
oh dear, it does happen.
Yeah, I have found one of those logos. Oh, hang on. Oh, gone. Can people feel you viewing them? Beverly?
Yeah. Some people can. Musk definitely would be able to, because most of Musk's DNA is already activated and what we would call pretty much awakened. So I think he would have realized and looked up at some point. That's why I've said that I think he might be a bit annoyed, but it's fine. It's just it is what it is. I don't think the general public were meant to know that he has put a bedroom into the General Service Administration's federal building, and commonly called the GSA. And the only reason why I know that it was that is because I picked up the circular emblem with a pyramid, but then it had this big bird or an eagle or something on the side. Those are the only 3 symbols that I saw: the circle, the pyramid, and the bird. And I thought, what on earth is that? What is that? And then later on, I put in symbols, and then I put the pyramid, the eagle, the bird, and then it came up with all the different symbols of the different federal offices, if you like. And I thought, oh, okay, that must have been what it was. Because unfortunately, I wasn't on the outside of the building. I was on the inside of the building, where people were, sweeping, cleaning, putting these lovely beds and mattresses and creating like a little interior flat, or like a little apartment area or a private area for him, so that he can just carry on working, because he does work very, very hard and many, many hours, rather than having to go home or go to wherever he was staying. So when he needs to just sleep for 2 hours or whatever, he can just pop into this lovely area that they've created for him in a private area. So I was thinking, has the security in that building, has it been stepped up? I think it probably has. And is there are the people that work in the building, do you think they realize that Elon Musk has taken up residency inside the GSA? Who knows? So when I got excited this morning, I put a quick video on my TikTok account explaining what I'd done. And after I did it, I thought, oh, sure, but here we go. If he sees it, he's going to be mad. But it's fine, it's fine. I'm sure he'll be okay. I think he must have known that at some point it would be leaked out that he's created a bedroom and an interior apartment for himself in the GSA building. It's obviously not going to be there for too long, surely.
Yeah, I mean, if the guy could make sleep in a tablet form that he could just take, as opposed to actually doing it, he would do. Now, I just want to say, I just shed a little tear there, right? I've been having my sort of yearly, period to feel a bit low and whatnot. And I spent so long last night thinking about my dog, Thor, and how much I wish he was here. And literally 1 minute ago, Google sent me one of those memory reels, and it's memories with Thor. That's what it's called. And I just thought, of all the weird tricks the universe plays on us, that was a nice one. That was a really nice one. And
well, that there is a prayer and a request to the universe of the shared soul of animals, that if you wish to have an animal back to come and join you, you can actually ask that, which is what I've done that with 3 of my dogs, and I've called them all the same name, and I've asked them to come back, and I've given enough time, and then I've gone to look for the dog, the puppy, and I'd seen a couple of them, and then I was led to another person who had the same puppies. And I sat on the couch and waited, and I said the name of the little dog. And I said, if that's you, we know what you used to like doing. Please come and do that right in front of me. And she toddled over, and then she did the commando. So she put her little feet on the floor and then pulled herself along, and it did lots of, and that was it. I knew that was her. So we got her straight away.
Yeah. Well, I completely agree. I had to explain this to Dan, and it took a long time for her to realize. Like, I never seen Thor as a pet. He was always a familiar. He was a magical being that was like, imagine the filter in your Brita filter, right? And all the daily crap that you don't really want to have to deal with. No. My familiar would deal with it all, take a lot of the edge off of things. I'm pretty sure he got cancer as well instead of me. He's incredible. He's an incredible boy. And, he wants to come back a big white German Shepherd this time instead of a black one. And he wants to be called Storm instead of Thor. And I can't wait to get him back. We're just waiting for Dan to be fully healed. But it's killing me, man. Like, it kills me. It's like there's already one part of my magical existence that I'm just about to get back, and having Thor being gone, it's just been the closest thing to a Muggle life this last year. It's been very humbling and eye-opening. Do you know how you can cope without just manifesting your will? Like, how do people just plod through life without the ability to focus on something and make it into their reality? Right?
Exactly.
How though? How? So, like, I'm just, I'm excited.
You'll start manifesting your new Storm to arrive. So,
I've got to wait. I've got to wait for the nod from Dan, and when she's all healed and stuff. Because honestly, I'm this close to getting like a secret pet. Do you know what I mean? Like one of those like sugar gliders, or something that sleeps all day, right? Something that sleeps all day that Dan won't see, and then at night time I can bring it in and be She doesn't know about you, my little furry friend. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've got the Dexter kill room underneath here. I could keep a small panda down there and nobody would know. Okay. It might be noisy and smelly, right? But it's big. It's big and concrete. Okay. I'm just saying.
So Danny has said that she's just put Nova down in case. She said, you just pop Nova down if you want to ask anything else from me. And she's back here. Hi, everyone.
Awesome.
Anything else you want to ask Danny?
It's called a hamster. No, listen. Right. Just once again, the side quest of Ron's brain. Right. We're putting the flap up. Right. We're going to go full Norwegian fisherman style with the hood. Okay. Just like this one.
Definitely right? Doing Norwegian fisherman for sure. That is exactly what it is.
Have you ever seen a terrarium, right, where you mimic the natural environment of an animal that like lives on Earth, right? So there's this whole YouTube channel that's dedicated their whole YouTube page to how hamsters are being kept the wrong way by people. And it's instead of buying a hamster cage, they go and buy like these glass fish tanks, fill them full of earth and cocoa matter, and create this little world for the hamster. And they like dig all these little burrows, and they're underground, and they make little nests. And the way that we are shown to look after a hamster is just torture for a hamster. So honestly, if I ever had a hamster again, it'd have like its little pea pods growing, so it was self-sufficient. This is what you all tuned in to hear about. Don't tell me that you're not here for the terrarium chat. Okay,
you're not here for the terrarium chat. No, I want to ask Danny how did she feel after she had seen the unidentified flying object in the sky, because she was the one who discovered it.
Yeah.
So if Danny could put her answer in the chat, because that's going to be, I think, very, very interesting.
I will wait for Dan's answer, but I'm pretty sure it was quite fast that she phoned me. I thought, what are you talking about, for like the first 5 seconds of when I answered the phone. And then
we've got our lady as well, random at large. I'd sent the ring pic that went last week, and she was going to send us some other activity as well. I'd sent it via unfortunately I'd sent it via the email, so it will be on there. That's and right. I think it's the one that is that very long silvery image of what appears to be the long silvery being. We did talk about it before. So have a look and see if you can find it, but it's one that we had scheduled to have on this show today. Okay. And also, random at large, thank you for the super chat.
Okay. Beverli Rhodes. Yeah. Unless you put the subject as something that's easy for me to find. I'm a bloody nightmare. I tell you what, though, I can just give this lady my email, and if you've got them on your phone,
I'll also have a look and see quickly, because I think I did also send it via.
Yeah, if you've got them on your.
It was last week before the Friday show. I had put it up, and then we ran out of time. So let me have to see if I can find it.
My brain.
Yeah, I will carry on looking for it. And
that's right.
It was sent.
That's Big Homie just confirmed we're all good for this Friday. I know he's very upset himself. He's been. I've had a very upset Big Homie sending me some messages, so it's
not great to be pinched either.
Yeah, well, that's the way it goes. You're getting pinched by the Bevlar. That's dying. I can't help you. I can't help you. I just want to say, if anyone tuned in late and you tuned into this UFO footage, this is not Ron's UFO footage. This is Danny's from the Galactic Spiritual Informers conference from last year. There is a Danny's footage, Ron's footage. Okay, so just to be clear, in case you've tuned in late or anything like that, this is now my footage again, just to play through it.
Yeah, in Scotland, which is UK.
Yeah. not Dronesville, USA. No, we've got a lot of drones here, man. You would be surprised, especially during lockdown. Substance suppliers got very creative in Edinburgh and around Scotland. Very, very creative. A lot of tennis balls falling out of the sky, if you know what I'm saying. So, yeah. Yeah, it could be Dan. It could be Dan's. It could have been intended for Dan. But at the same time, the timing of me being mouthy on the internet and calling out and all the rest of it, it was just odd. And they kept moving until I got to the window. I feel like if they were trying to get Dan's attention, they probably would have stopped moving when Dan seen them. Because how else would you point out that what they were doing had happened other than motion, right? Do you know what I mean?
And Danny is saying publicly now that they are expected May 10th, but we expect them May 9th, 11th, and 12th too. So nice. That's on the record. Danny Henderson is saying that at the GSIC in Eastbourne, there will be UFOs in the sky over the event on May 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So get everyone down to Eastbourne in the UK on the coast.
Holy shit.
Luckily, we'll have our cameras ready. So Ron and I are filming anyway on those days. So we will definitely have all cameras set up, and the possibility of an extra cameraman as well might be coming to join us, Henry. So yeah, hopefully everything will work according to plan.
Yeah. Oh, listen, Ron is coming with the intention of the ships lowering down, a beam of light coming out of the sky. Ron being lifted up in front of 1,000 people in Ron's spanking new merch, going up into the ship, right? Cameras flashing off, and everyone's going, "Oh, why was it him? Why was it him?" And I'm going, I don't know, right? And up I go. That is what I think is going to happen. Legitimately, why not? Why not? Listen, I was mouthy on the internet, and a spaceship appeared in front of my house. Okay, so.
That's what happened in summarizing the last hour.
And also, none of this wait until we're back at the hotel room and abducting me when no one's around, when nobody can capture it for the internet. That's not how it works. Off-worlders, okay? So the last hour we were talking about on Friday night, Dan and I had a very odd encounter where about 12:30, I'm down here chatting on Discord after the podcast, and I get a phone call from Dan saying, babe, so I think there's a UFO above the house. And I'm like, what? She's like, I think there's a UFO. So in my head, I went straight to the Hollywood movie where I'm expecting to go upstairs to see like the like right above the house, and like
Hollywood way.
Everything in the room's like floating above the air, and there's a bright light. But nah, it was a little dot. But it was incredible because it was doing this. It looked like this. If I had to do a motion, it looked like the spaceship was going hiya, hiya, and then when we went to the window, it stopped. And then, like you say, did we answer anything? Did we ask anything? Well, yeah, we said we'll know if it's a drone or not if a cloud goes past. And then a massive cloud went past, and then it disappeared. And it was wild. It was wild. It really was. Ron, you need to be in. Could you imagine the spin-off dark comedy series of Star Trek that would need to happen for me to be a character in it? All right. I'm telling you now, it couldn't be anything that was true to lore. You couldn't be putting a Ron Swanson character into Star Trek and obliterating the lore, because I'm going to go. In fact, never mind what Ron's going to do. Never mind. So I used to talk about this off-planet. Hang on. I used to talk about the off-planet sentient life when I did my exhibition, especially in 2012. The journey, I had some crazy experience with the public. All right. Unknown Angel Books by Natalia Stevenson. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'll be honest. I am super new to all the off-world stuff, and it's incredible. You know, I'm kind of almost convinced there's space now. And listen, the whole time that I've had a YouTube account, I've never truly believed. I've never been, right, but I'm pretty convinced now that this might not be exactly a simulation or something other than the official statement that we're given by the government. And Danny, I wish I could be there. I have some serious manifesting to do. Don't we all? Don't we all? But listen, we're sort of winding down the show this evening, everybody. And I'm back tomorrow with a daily show going through the headlines. We're back Wednesday this week, I think.
Yeah, we've got a show tomorrow with Odette O. We're doing a Valentine's special where we're talking about love, connections of love, and sending out the energies in order to attract love and all the different types of love relationships that there are. Odette O lives in Hawaii, and she's a specialist in these types of fields, and she's done all sorts of amazing things. I'll leave her to explain her background. So Odette will also be doing some pieces towards the end of the show that we're going to send out to help our lovely viewers and the chat attract the love of their lives.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know, there's a lot of people throwing some names in the chat. And again, I don't know the community. I think Bev and Danny, I'll have a wee chat and get pointed in the direction of some people to go and investigate more about this off-world stuff and see who we can get on for a chat, because it's very fascinating. And
well, I know Danny's got JP on tomorrow with Sean, and I think there'll be Tony Rodriguez will be on with Sean as well at some point. So that's a different show altogether. Yeah. Tomorrow I'm on with a CSA, a significant male CSA survivor called Ryan. And we'll be interviewing him about his journey into wellness and his journey through healing and how he's been able to heal, which is absolutely wonderful. So if you need to understand how you can heal from these awful things that happen to all sorts of individuals, come and listen to Ryan's story and his journey, because it's quite amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what we got? What else is happening this week?
More Chris Bledsoe is the video on Chris Bledsoe and his podcast. Yes, he definitely was able to talk to orbs, and they can definitely hear us. There's absolutely no way that was made up. Chris Bledsoe definitely, and it's quite an old story. It's a very well known story actually. So yes, give that a listen, because it's very, very interesting.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm just reading the side chat. Wednesday going. Yeah, we're back tomorrow, and then you're on Thursday, and then Friday we're into our next episode of Surviving Life. Big Homie and Beverly and myself. Possibly a little pre-recorded interview as well with the one and only Mr. John Wedger. He's going to pay us a visit when it's not, sadly, it's Valentine's Day. So he's got I imagine he's a busy man, is our John Wedger on Valentine's Day. You know, he's got a lot of things to juggle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Helena G is saying, I can see a green light beaming on Beverly's screen. Where? From where? I don't. There's nothing in the room. So take a picture, send it to us.
There is some computer generated green asteroids, right, that are flying behind Beverly. That trip me out sometimes. So it could be that, but I'm assuming that it's not. Also, as well, I've done something mad to my toe. I don't know what I've done. There's nothing like in the off-world handbook that identifies you've been like abducted and taken apart and can't remember it because you got a sore toe. Because if that's the case, then that's a whole other live story, another live show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the UFO disclosure is, you know, when I first met Bev and started hearing about the Awaken and all the rest of it, it really has been slapped into perspective just how wide the awakening is, and I'm so excited. And listen, you're all part of it, people. Now, Ron and the cards. So Ron finds it difficult to pull one card and get somewhere. So I'd quite like to experiment throughout the week, whether it's Discord or on the lives, doing the cards, how I kind of do them like a full kind of card reading with the 3 decks and looking at the past and the present and the future, looking at the person and causes and effects. That, I don't know, again, nobody does it this way. Ron just makes stuff up as he goes along, but this is how I feel I can interpret things. So I would love to start bringing that to you guys and see. Daily shows they're all listed. They're all live. I think it's between 1 and 2 each day. But I'm going to be changing all the thumbnails and the formats changing from tomorrow. So yeah, Ron's been a bit all over the place. But that's the way. Oh, I'm still waiting on for the super chat card. Listen, Rosie, we're doing our best here, okay? If you want to stick it up to Snow, Rosie, we'll do your super chat since your dog is adorable. Okay? Since your dog is so adorable, we will do your super chat right now, unless it involves me pulling a card or any numerology, and then in which case we'll do it next time, okay? We'll do it next time, Rosie. But your dog is adorable. That is an adorable dog. Wow. Should we just end the live stream before Rosie gets a chance to post her thing again? And then that's mean, Ron. Rosie, if you need to have a super chat answered, please get hold of Saturday Psychic Live at gmail.com, and we always answer and we always provide information. So if you haven't had it answered, just repeat it there, and then I can answer it for you. Like, yeah, my toes all kind of messed up, but it's fine. I've whacked it off something. Do you know how many times I've completely shattered my pinky toe? Too many times. Oh, that's the moving the couch, I think. No, that is when, as soon as Asri was like, "Oh, you're part giant," I was like, "Makes sense." Like, it makes sense. Like, I've never been able to just move my. That's why I don't drive. I can't move myself from point A to point B without smashing into something when I'm really paying attention. So the concept of owning an object and never hitting it into something is just mad to me. So yeah, I keep my ass out. I keep my ass at the driving seat, 100%. Fair enough. 100%. So how on earth are you going to get down? Are you taking the train then to come down to Eastbourne? Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to train it. Can you imagine me behind the wheel of a car? Have you heard? I can hardly focus on a conversation, Beverly. I'd be driving along, and I'd see something, and then wow, 10 minutes into my driving lesson. Not even take a train. Take a train. Oh, yeah. It's safer for everybody else on the road. 100%. 100%, man. I mean, again, I know what you're going to say. Oh, no, it's different, Ron. When you're in the driving seat, you know, your life's in danger. You're going to be focused. Sure. Okay. Sure it is. Okay. Let's not even take the chance. All right. That's what Ubers are for and trains. Okay. I often say to Dan, maybe I secretly have got my driving license, and I just tell everybody that I don't have my driving license just so I don't have to drive anywhere. Okay, listen, I think we've sidetracked enough this evening, Beverly. I think we've tortured the people enough with Ron and his side quests. This is interesting. Agent Orange, can they control our minds via remote from far away? Some, yes, but not all. I basically think all the terrible decisions I've ever made and all the times I've spent way too much money on stuff, that was them, right? That was them controlling. No, that's you. No, they're the ones where I've woke up on the couch at 2:30, and instead of going to bed, I've spent £250 on Amazon, and then woken up with no memory of buying it, and then for the next 2 days, crap is just arriving at my house. That's them, right? Because that's what I think we can collectively agree. That's the off-world. That's how Amazon have become so powerful. They've made a deal with the off-worlders to use mind control to get us to impulse buy on Amazon. Other shops exist, of course. Listen, if I wake up tomorrow with no memory of this, spread this live stream around. We have cracked the code. Okay, we have figured out what is happening with the technology. It's Bezos. All right. Listen, I think I need to go to bed. So Sim1, we are going through some of the footage that's been sent and some of the pictures. So we will definitely be able to go through some of those next time and put them all probably into one show when we've got enough. Yeah. For all one show. Just send it to the email Saturday
GSIClive@gmail.com, and that email is it's continually watched, so that somebody will be able to get back to you. But we will need your permission in the email to say that it can be used in the show, because we can't use anything without permission.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would use it anyway, but Bev's right. We need your permission. Whereas Ron's a savage. Ron's a savage. But yeah, no, we need written permission for all content that gets distributed. So
that gets, absolutely perfect.
Plus, we need to also as well let us know if you want to be named with it. Oh, this is Mrs. Johnson's footage, or if you just want to be anonymous.
Anonymous.
100%. It's all good.
Okay, that's perfect.
Well, look, thank you every single one of you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for turning up here for Bev and I's show, listening to my story. And thank you for Dan for being here. Thank you to everyone who has been showing support to Dan. And thank you to everyone who's been absolutely screaming for Dan and I to get a show back and for Dan to be involved and all the rest of it. So there's lots to come. Okay, the next few weeks are going to be an interesting one. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So Beverly, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much to everybody here. Good night, everyone.
Peace and love to all of you, and I will catch you in the next one.